The year 2025 marked a powerful shift in the UFC landscape as a new generation of fighters began reshaping the identity of mixed martial arts. These athletes are not simply collecting wins, they are redefining tempo, strategy, and adaptability inside the octagon. Speed, intelligence, power, and versatility are no longer separate traits. They now exist together in complete modern fighters. What separates this generation from the past is how quickly they evolve between fights, learning from mistakes and adjusting game plans with maturity. Many of these rising stars entered the UFC as prospects, but exited 2025 as legitimate threats to ranked contenders. Their presence forces veterans to adapt or risk being left behind in an increasingly unforgiving environment. This ranking is based strictly on 2025 performances, focusing on who delivered when the pressure was highest. Level of competition matters, as wins against elite or dangerous opponents carry more weight than padded records. Momentum also plays a critical role, because confidence and consistency often decide future champions. Skill development was a key factor, especially visible improvements in striking defense, grappling transitions, and fight IQ. Fighters who showed growth from one bout to the next stood out more than those relying on a single weapon. Finishing ability mattered as well, because the capacity to end fights reflects control, precision, and dominance. In 2025, Kita proved that his success was not accidental, but the result of discipline and preparation. He showed patience in longer fights, refusing to chase finishes at the cost of position or energy. That maturity elevated him from an exciting athlete to a serious rising contender. Kita's ability to cut angles is one of his most dangerous tools, allowing him to strike while staying off the center line. Opponents often find themselves reacting instead of initiating, slowly falling behind on the scorecards. Distance management gives him control over when and how exchanges happen. He rarely wastes movement, conserving energy while remaining a constant threat. This efficiency allows him to maintain intensity deep into fights, where others begin to slow. Cardio and composure combine to make his pace difficult to match. Defensively, Kita continues to improve with each outing, tightening his guard and improving head movement. He absorbs lessons quickly, adjusting weaknesses from previous fights. This adaptability is a key marker of long-term success. As experience grows, Kita's ceiling continues to rise rapidly. With refinement and high-level competition, he has the tools to challenge ranked fighters. His evolution suggests a future built on consistency, intelligence, and controlled violence. 9. Jacqueline Jacqueline Cavalcanti emerged in 2025 as a technical standout, separating herself through precision rather than wild exchanges. Her striking is clean, efficient, and well-timed, allowing her to score without unnecessary risk. This controlled approach consistently places opponents in uncomfortable and reactive positions. Instead of overwhelming rivals with volume, Cavalcanti dictates the rhythm of each fight with intelligence. She understands distance and timing, choosing when to engage and when to disengage. This ability to manage pace gives her a strategic advantage over more aggressive opponents. One of her greatest strengths is composure under pressure, as she never rushes key moments. Even when opponents attempt to force chaos, she remains calm and calculated. This mental discipline allows her to execute game plans with consistency. Cavalcanti's cardio plays a major role in her success, keeping her sharp from the opening round to the final bell. Her conditioning allows her to maintain technique rather than relying on survival tactics late in fights. As rounds progress, her efficiency becomes more noticeable. Defensively, she shows strong awareness, avoiding unnecessary damage while staying active. She reads opponents well, adjusting footwork and timing as patterns begin to appear. These subtle adjustments separate experienced technicians from raw athletes. Her discipline inside the octagon reflects strong preparation and coaching. Each movement serves a purpose, with little wasted energy or emotion. This approach allows her to maintain control even in close contests. Cavalcanti represents the modern evolution of women's MMA, where intelligence and technique outweigh brute force. Her style reflects how the sport continues to mature. With continued development, she is positioned to become a long-term contender. 8. MICHAELMORALAWELTERWAIGHT. Michael Morales continued his undefeated rise in 2025, establishing himself as one of the most promising talents in the welterweight division. His performances displayed a blend of physical strength, calm composure, and reliable fundamentals. Each appearance inside the octagon showed measurable growth and refinement. His boxing is tight and disciplined, built around solid footwork and sharp combinations. Morales does not overextend on punches, keeping his balance and defensive responsibility intact. This technical approach allows him to absorb minimal damage while consistently landing effective strikes. In the clinch, Morales becomes especially oppressive, using strength and positioning to control opponents. He leans his weight effectively, forcing rivals to carry his pressure while limiting their offense. This physical dominance often shifts momentum in his favor. Morales fights with patience, never appearing rushed or reckless in pursuit of finishes. He applies steady pressure that gradually breaks opponents down rather than overwhelming them early. This calculated style reflects a high level of fight IQ for his age. Mental exhaustion is one of Morales' most effective weapons, as opponents struggle to find moments of success. His constant presence forces mistakes and hesitation. Over time, frustration becomes as damaging as strikes or takedowns. Cardio plays a key role in supporting his pressure-based approach. Morales maintains consistency from round to round without noticeable drop in intensity. This endurance allows him to stay disciplined deep into fights. At welterweight, consistency is often the difference between prospects and contenders. Morales continues to prove reliability under pressure. With continued development, his trajectory points toward long-term success at the highest level. 7. URSCIORUFFYLIGHTWEIGHT. Mauricio Ruffy exploded into 2025 with a series of brutal knockouts that immediately captured global attention. His striking carries genuine fight-ending danger, forcing opponents to respect every movement. From the opening bell, rivals are pushed into defensive mode. Power is Ruffy's most visible weapon, but it is not his only strength. He delivers strikes with sharp timing, allowing maximum impact with minimal effort. This efficiency makes his knockouts look sudden and unavoidable. What truly separates Ruffy from typical brawlers is his growing patience inside the octagon. He no longer rushes forward searching for chaos. Instead, he waits for openings and builds pressure intelligently. His setup work has improved significantly, using feints and footwork to draw reactions. These small movements create the space needed for his power to land clean. As a result, his strikes land with greater accuracy and control. Defensively, Ruffy has become more responsible, reducing exposure during exchanges. He understands when to reset rather than trade unnecessarily. This discipline allows him to maintain longevity in high-intensity fights. Mentally, Ruffy appears calmer and more composed with each appearance. He shows confidence without recklessness, trusting his skills to deliver results. This mindset reflects a fighter growing beyond raw aggression. As refinement continues, Ruffy's threat level multiplies across the lightweight division. His combination of power and patience is rare. With experience, he has the tools to become a serious contender. 6. TATSUROTAIRAFLYWEIGHT. Tatsuro Taira represents technical excellence in the flyweight division, built on precision rather than spectacle. His grappling is controlled, methodical, and efficient, avoiding unnecessary risks. Every movement serves a clear purpose inside the octagon. In 2025, Taira demonstrated elite maturity, showing patience beyond his years. He never rushes positions, instead securing control before advancing. This calm approach allows him to dominate without exposing himself. Taira's transitions are smooth and seamless, flowing naturally from takedowns to dominant positions. Opponents are forced to react continuously, rarely finding opportunities to reset. This constant pressure creates both physical and mental exhaustion. His ground control is suffocating, limiting movement and denying space. Rather than hunting submissions immediately, he prioritizes position and balance. This methodical style steadily breaks resistance. Taira also shows strong awareness on the feet, using strikes to set up grappling exchanges. He chooses moments carefully, avoiding reckless exchanges that could shift momentum. This balance makes him difficult to game plan against. One of his greatest strengths is controlling where fights take place. Whether standing or on the ground, he dictates tempo and location. Opponents struggle to impose their own strategies. His rise feels inevitable rather than explosive, built on consistency and discipline. Each performance reinforces trust in his system. With continued development, Taira is positioned as a future title challenger. 5. ERI, ENBLA, NCHF, IEL, DW, OMENS, DIV, ISION. Erin Blanchfield continued to mature in 2025. Her control on the ground remains one of the strongest aspects of her game. Each fight showed greater patience and tactical awareness. Her striking improvements made her more unpredictable and harder to prepare for. Blanchfield now uses her stand-up to set up takedowns rather than relying on entries alone. This evolution adds depth to her overall skill set. Confidence has become increasingly visible in her performances. She moves with purpose and composure, never appearing rushed or uncertain. This self-belief allows her to execute game plans effectively. Blanchfield thrives in difficult fights, showing mental toughness well beyond her years. She remains calm under pressure, even when opponents attempt to force scrambles or chaos. This composure often shifts momentum in her favor. Rather than overwhelming opponents instantly, she slowly dismantles them through control and positioning. Each adjustment builds toward long-term dominance rather than quick finishes. This approach minimizes risk while maximizing effectiveness. Her cardio plays a significant role in supporting her methodical style. Blanchfield maintains energy deep into fights, allowing her pressure to remain constant. Fatigue rarely affects her decision-making. The ability to adapt mid-fight separates Blanchfield from many rising contenders. She recognizes openings and capitalizes without forcing outcomes. This adaptability signals long-term success. Her future remains championship level, shaped by discipline and consistency. Continued growth will sharpen her weapons even further. Blanchfield stands as a model of intelligent evolution in modern women's MMA. 4. BONIC KALMI DDLAW EIGHT. Bo Nickal's 2025 campaign solidified his status as one of the most compelling rising stars in the UFC. His dominance on the mat is matched only by his steadily improving striking, combining elite-level wrestling with precise, calculated stand-up techniques, and his ability to control opponents once grounded leaves little room for escape, forcing adversaries to react under constant pressure, which reflects his unmatched composure and fight IQ. Over the year, Nickal demonstrated remarkable evolution, transforming from a wrestler with limited striking into a well-rounded mixed martial artist. His hands now set traps and create openings rather than forcing entries. His timing and distance management have improved exponentially, allowing him to dictate the pace of fights, and his transitions between striking and grappling are fluid, making him unpredictable and dangerous in every phase of combat. Every bout in 2025 showcased his mental toughness, strategic planning, and relentless drive as he adapts to opponents in real time, avoids unnecessary risks, and maintains a high-output game without compromising defense. His consistency under pressure proves that he is not just a short-term sensation but a long-term contender, and with continued refinement, Bo Nickal's trajectory points firmly toward championship contention and sustained dominance in the middleweight division, marking him as a fighter whose 2025 performance will be remembered as a turning point in his career. 3. IWOBARANIEWSKILIGHTWEIGHT. Baranuski's 2025 UFC debut immediately established him as one of the sport's most intriguing rising stars, his combination of composure, raw power, and fight IQ allowing him to handle high-level competition with remarkable ease. His ability to remain calm, Under pressure, while delivering fight-altering strikes, demonstrated a maturity beyond his experience, and his poise in every exchange signaled that he is not just a promising talent, but a serious contender capable of making waves in the lightweight division. Throughout his breakout performance, Baranowski showcased striking mechanics that are both efficient and technically sound, his balance and discipline ensuring that every punch carries maximum impact, while his strategic choice to prioritize accuracy over sheer volume allows him to conserve energy, control the tempo of fights, and exploit openings with precision, making him difficult for opponents to anticipate or counter, and reinforcing his potential for rapid growth as he gains experience in the Octagon. Beyond raw skill, Baranowski's mental and tactical approach set him apart from typical debutantes. His understanding of distance, timing, and defensive responsibility reflects a fighter who studies the game as much as he practices it, and with continued refinement, his trajectory points toward a steep rise through the rankings, positioning him as a dangerous, well-rounded prospect whose 2025 performances have already captured fan attention and established a foundation for a long-term, impactful UFC career, signaling that he could become a major force in mixed martial arts in the years to come. 2. ETEBAGAUTIER-MIDDLAWEIGHT. Gauthier combines raw aggression with visible confidence, using his fearsome striking to dictate the pace of fights, pressure opponents relentlessly, and capitalize on openings with devastating effect. Yet beneath the explosive style lies room for refinement, as his defensive awareness, energy management, and pacing strategies will ultimately determine how consistently he can perform against elite-level competition, and his potential for growth in these areas positions him as a fighter capable of evolving from a dangerous prospect into a dominant contender over time. 1. JOSH UOV ANFL YWEIGHT. Oved his readiness to compete at the highest levels of mixed martial arts. Every performance in 2025 reinforced Joshua Van's position as a benchmark for rising talent. His combination of strategic planning, mental toughness, and physical capability set new standards in the lightweight division, while his consistent improvement and composure under pressure highlighted the depth of his potential, signaling that his trajectory is not only toward championship contention, but also toward long-term dominance. And with continued refinement, Van's 2025 season will be remembered as the year he transitioned from prospect to a fighter who defines excellence, setting the bar for peers and future generations in the UFC. As 2025 closes, these rising stars have proven that the future of the UFC is blazing with talent, power, and relentless ambition, each fighter carving a path with skill, heart, and unforgettable moments. And as fans, we stand on the edge of a new era where champions are born not just from victories, but from evolution, resilience, and the will to dominate. Remember, every strike, every submission, and every strategy tells a story, and the next chapters of these fighters' careers promise to redefine what it means to be a legend inside the Octagon. So buckle up, stay ready, because the future of mixed martial arts is here. It's relentless, it's thrilling, and it's unstoppable.